The community coming together to remember 25-year-old Tyra Crosby. She was shot and killed earlier this week in Charlotte. During tonight's candlelight vigil, there were hugs, tears, and memories were shared.
I love you, best friend. Everybody know Tyra, that's my twin.
She was beautiful. Her soul, her spirit, inside and out.
She gonna be our angel on our shoulder.
She always knew what to say.
Her mother, too, reminding everyone of the bright light she was.
But I am so grateful that whatever God sent her to do, she, accomplished that mission.
Tyra Crosby was a 25-year-old woman who was shot to death after 51-year-old Stephanie Alexander came home to find her inside of her marital home with her husband. Since her death, there's been plenty of controversy as to whether Tyra was aware of the fact that Mrs. Alexander's husband was in fact married. Her mother came out to defend her by stating that she was invited to the home and preyed upon by a man who was old enough to be her father. She also alleged having an 8-minute audio clip capturing Tyra's last moments at which she could be heard being beaten before she was ultimately shot to death. She also claims to have heard both Alexander and her husband discussing that they were going to kill Tyra. Police have since come out to confirm that Tyra and Alexander's husband, in fact, met each other at a club. It is unclear just how long the two knew each other or whether Tyra had been to the home prior to the night of her murder. Needless to say, the following questions still remain. How long did she know Alexander's husband? Was she aware of the fact that he was married? Had she previously been to the home? Since news of her murder, there has been outrage from family, friends, and even people within their Charlotte community who say justice has not been served and that Alexander should in fact face heavier charges, including first-degree murder. A vigil was held at Camp Green Park to honor and remember Tyra's life. One by one, her loved ones shared stories and memories. They described her as a beautiful soul and an angel that will watch over everyone. The vigil was hosted by mothers of murdered offspring who say celebrations such as these are important. 25-year-old Tyra Crosby was laid to rest on July 24th at the Greater Temple Baptist Church in Charlotte, North Carolina. As of right now, 51-year-old Stephanie Alexander remains out of jail and is scheduled to reappear in court on August 7th.
Family and friends of a woman killed in West Charlotte set to say their final goodbyes today. The community coming together yesterday for a candlelight vigil to remember Tyra Crosby. CMPD says Stephanie Alexander came home and killed Crosby. Her family tells WCNC Charlotte she was invited over by the husband. Wake Up Charlotte's Richard Devane joins us now, and Richard, Alexander now out of jail on bond.
That is correct, and as she's out of jail on bond awaiting her trial for voluntary manslaughter, the family and friends of Miss Crosby are remembering her life, not the way it ended, but the life she lived.
It's a lot of words to describe her.
Family and friends sharing stories and memories of a life cut short. Dozens came together Sunday to remember 25-year-old Tyra Crosby, shot and killed in the early morning hours last Tuesday in a house on Porter Street in East Charlotte. Police say Stephanie Alexander came home and found Crosby inside and shot her. Crosby's family said she was invited to the house by Alexander's husband. Alexander arrested for voluntary manslaughter. The vigil held by mothers of murdered offspring for those who knew the 25-year-old, many of them saying she was kind and loving.
She was beautiful. Her soul, her spirit, inside and out.
She gonna be our angel on our shoulder.
She always knew what to say.
Lighting candles and prayers and releasing balloons, trying to deal with the pain of her death, including her mother, who was the last to light a candle in her memory.
Just to see how many lives she touched and the love that she had in her heart.
Yeah, and again, that ceremony of celebration of life will take place today at noon.